Madeo, Davao, Mindanao, and to the whole world. I'm your newscaster for today, Merasol Sibayan Cacho. And before we begin, don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for the latest updates here on the Pinoy Rap YouTube channel. For the headlines, weather forecast for the Philippines today, May 2, 2025. Local news. Labor Day rally in Davao City demands wage hike and affordable rice. World Travel Expo returns to South Mindanao for the third time. Davao City detects 2 cases of impacts, clade the second. Representative Paulo Duterte condemns planned PNP CIDG operation on Duterte residence. National news. Philippines signs military pact with New Zealand amid regional tensions. Philippines faces heightened cybersecurity threats ahead of 2025 elections. International news. Global trade tensions impact Pacific Island economies, warns IMF. Israel battles widespread wildfires near Jerusalem, seeks international aid. Entertainment news. MET Gala 2025 celebrating superfine tailoring black style. Priyanka Chopra applauds Waves 2025 summit in Mumbai. Sports news. National Open Track Meet kicks off in Capas Tarlac. Filipina 5 roster announced for ASEAN Cup futsal debut. Trivia. Discovering the Tabon Man, tracing the first humans in the Philippines. Weather forecast for the Philippines. As the Philippines braces for the heat of early May, the weather across the nation is expected to be hot and humid, with a mix of sunshine and isolated thunderstorms. For Davao City, the forecast predicts a high of 31 degrees Celsius and a low of 23 degrees Celsius. The day will be partly cloudy with a chance of afternoon thunderstorms. The heat index could be feel as high as 48 degrees Celsius, making it crucial for residents to stay hydrated and avoid prolonged sun exposure. In Manila, expect similar conditions with temperatures reaching 32 degrees Celsius during the day and a nighttime low of 24 degrees Celsius. The city will experience partly cloudy skies with isolated thunderstorms, likely in the late afternoon or evening. The heat index may climb to 47 degrees Celsius, so caution is advised. especially during peak afternoon hours. Across the entire Philippines, the weather will be dominated by the tail end of the northeast monsoon, bringing hot and dry conditions to many regions. However, scattered thunderstorms are likely in the afternoon, particularly in central and southern Luzon, the Visayas, and Mindanao. Pag-asa warns that the heat could feel unbearable in certain areas, reaching up to 50 degrees Celsius, which could pose health risks. There's also a slight chance of tropical cyclone developing in the coming weeks. Local news. Labor Day rally in Davao City demands wage hike and affordable rice. On May 1, 2025, thousands of workers and labor groups in Davao City took the streets to mark Labor Day with a powerful call for wage increases and economic relief. The demonstrators, composed of various unions and grassroots organizations, gathered at Freedom Park and marched through major city roads, carrying placards demanding a 150 pesos a daily wage increase and the revival of the Marcos era 20 pesos per kilo rice program. Organizers from the Kilusang Mayo Ono, KMU, and the Sentro ng mga nagkakaisa at progresibong manggagawa emphasized that workers are bearing the brunt of inflation, with minimum wages failing to keep up with the soaring cost of goods and services. We are not just asking for a raise, we are demanding a dignified life for every worker, said one rally leader. Protesters also called on the government to end contractualization and provide permanent jobs with benefits. Police maintained a peaceful presence throughout the demonstration, which ended with a program featuring speeches, cultural performances, and solidarity messages from various sectors. The Labor Day protest in Davao City mirrors similar movements nationwide as Filipinos unite to demand more equitable labor policies and government action to address widespread poverty. World Travel Expo returns to South Mindanao for the third time. The World Travel Expo returned to Davao City on May 1, 2025 for its third consecutive year, bringing renewed energy and opportunity to the Mindanao tourism sector. Held at SMX Convention Center in SM Lanang. The event gathered hundreds of exhibitors, including local tourism offices, travel agencies, airlines, and hotels groups, all aiming to reignite domestic and international travel enthusiasm post-pandemic. This year's theme, Rediscover the Philippines, Sustainable Travel for All, highlights the growing importance of responsible tourism. Key attractions featured in the expo include Davo's ecotourism offerings, mountain and beach destinations in Mindanao, and new direct flights linking Davao to more ASEAN cities. Event organizer Myra Hamilia said that the expo provides a vital platforms for local stakeholders to showcase regional treasures and forge business partnerships. We want tourists to see what Mindanao is a safe, vibrant, and culturally rich destination, she said. Government officials expressed a strong support, noting the Expo's contribution to reviving tourism revenue. Davao City Tourism Office noted that event is aligned with its strategic goals to position the city as a major meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions MICE hub in Southeast Asia. Thousands of visitors attended on opening day, with deals and discounts boosting bookings. Davao City detects 2 cases of impacts, clade second. Health authorities in Davao City confirmed on May 1, 2025 that 2 residents have tested positive for monkeypox, clade second, triggering heightened public health surveillance and concern. The Davao City Health Office, CHO, stated that the cases involved a 32-year-old male and a 27-year-old female, both of whom are under isolation. Contact tracing efforts are currently underway to contain any possible spread. According to the Department of Health, DOH, clade the second of impacts is considered less severe than its clade 1 counterpart, but remains highly contagious. One of the patients has reported died due to complications aggravated by an underlying health condition. The other patient is being treated at Southern Philippines Medical Center and is in stable condition. CHO officer in charge, Dr. Jonah B. Daliling, emphasized that early detection and swift isolation were crucial in preventing community transmission. She urged the public to avoid panic but remain vigilant, practice proper hygiene, and report symptoms such as fever, rashes, and swollen lymph nodes. Schools and workplaces and affected barangay have been advised to temporarily tighten health protocols. The city government is also preparing additional quarantine facilities and has requested vaccine support from the national government. Representative Paulo Duterte condemns a planned PNP-CIDG operation on Duterte residence. Davao City Congressman Paulo Duterte has released an official statement strongly condemning an alleged planned operation by the Philippine National Police Criminal Investigation and Detection Group, PNP-CIDG, targeting the Duterte residence in Davao City. The statement, which was publicly shared by Kitty Duterte via social media, described the incident as a form of harassment against their family. We strongly condemned the recent action of the PNP-CIDG that have clearly crossed the line into harassment against my family, Duterte said. They expressed concern that some law enforcers are allegedly acting not in the name of justice but for financial gain. The congressman also claimed that while actual criminals continue to roam free, some highly ranking officials are compromising their integrity. The real criminals in our society are being ignored, while some in the higher ranks have seemingly sold their integrity, he said. Duterte emphasized that their camp is carefully documenting the incident and the names of those involved, hinting at possible legal actions in the future. When the time comes, you will answer, not to us, but to the very forces of justice you have turned your back on. He further revealed that they have monitored the arrival of approximately 30 CIDG operatives and 90 staff personnel from Luzon. Addressing the staff units directly, he warned, "We already know where you are heading, and many are waiting." As of this report, the PNP CIDG has yet to release an official statement responding to the allegations. National news. Philippines signs military pact with New Zealand amid regional tensions. On April 30, 2025, the Philippines and New Zealand signed a status of visiting forces agreement, SOFA, in Manila, enhancing their defense cooperation. The agreement, witnessed by Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., allows for joint military exercises and the temporary deployment of troops between the two nations. This move is part of the Philippines' broader strategy to strengthen alliances amid escalating tensions in the Indo-Pacific region, particularly concerning China's assertive actions in the South China Sea. Defense Secretary Gilberto Teodoro Jr. emphasized that the pact aims to bolster regional security and uphold international maritime laws. New Zealand's Defense Minister Judith Collins expressed commitment to supporting the Philippines in maintaining peace and stability in the region. The agreement is expected to pave the way for increasing military collaboration, including joint training and humanitarian missions. While the pact has been approved by New Zealand, it still requires ratification by the Philippine Senate. This development follows similar agreements with other countries, including Japan and the United States, as the Philippines seeks to diversify its security partnerships in response to regional challenges. Philippines faces heightened cybersecurity threats ahead of 2025 elections. As the Philippines approaches the May 2025 midterm elections, cybersecurity experts warn of increased risk from foreign cyber attacks targeting the country's electoral infrastructure. A recent threat assessment highlighted concerns over potential disruptions to the peaceful and orderly conduct of the polls due to cyber threats. The assessment pointed out that the misuse of artificial intelligence could be employed as a tool in the cognitive domain, potentially influencing public opinion and social order during the election period. While the sources of the cyber threats have not been directly identified, the assessment noted that challenges to the country's cybersecurity defense are anticipated from foreign adversary. The National Security Cluster Communications emphasized the need for heightened vigilance and preparedness to safeguard the integrity of the electoral process. In response, the Philippine government is strengthening its cybersecurity measures and collaborating with international partners to mitigate potential risks. The upcoming elections are seen as a critical test of the country's resilience against cyber threats, underscoring the importance of robust digital defenses in maintaining democratic processes. International news. Global trade tensions impact Pacific Island economies, warns IMF. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has issued a warning regarding the economic outlook of Pacific Island nations, attributing potential downturns to escalating global trade tensions. The IMF's report highlights that rising tariffs, particularly from major economies like the United States, are adversely affecting the export-driven economies of these island nations. With primary exports such as tuna, sugar, and timber facing increased barriers, these countries are experiencing reduced market access and declining revenues. The IMF emphasizes the vulnerability of Pacific Island economies due to their limited diversification and resilience on a narrow range of exports. In response, the IMF recommends that these nations accelerate efforts to diversify their economies, invest in sustainable industries, and strengthen regional trade agreements to mitigate the adverse effects of global trade disruptions. The report also underscores the importance of international cooperation in addressing these challenges, urging both developed and developing nations to engage in dialogue and implement policies that promote fair and open trade practices. As the global trade landscape continues to evolve, Pacific Island nations face critical decisions to safeguard their economic stability and ensure long-term prosperity. Israel battles widespread wildfires near Jerusalem, seeks international aid. Israel is grappling with severe wildfires that have erupted across the central region, particularly near Jerusalem. The fires, which began on April 30, 2025, have spread rapidly, fueled by high temperatures and strong winds, leading to significant damage and prompting widespread evacuations. Communities located approximately 30 kilometers west of Jerusalem, including Neve Shalom and Mishmar Ayalon, have been evacuated as precautionary measures. At least 16 individuals have been reported injured, and several major highways, including highways 1 and 3, have been closed due to the proximity of the fires. In response to the crisis, Israel has declared a national emergency and deployed over 160 firefighting squads, along with the military support to combat the blazes. The Israeli Defense Forces IDF have also utilized aircraft to drop fire retardants in an effort to control the fires. Recognizing the scale of the disaster, Israel has reached out to neighboring countries, including Italy, Greece, and France, requesting assistance in firefighting efforts. International aid has begun to arrive, with firefighting aircraft from Italy and Croatia joining the efforts. The situation remains critical with authorities continuing to monitor and address the evolving wildfire threat. Entertainment news. Met Gala 2025, celebrating superfine, tailoring black style. The Met Gala 2025, held on May 1, 2025 at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York City, showcased the theme Superfine, tailoring black style, celebrating black dandyism and its cultural significance. This year's event honored the elegance, individuality, and historical impact of black fashion, highlighting its influence in global style trends. Celebrities and fashion icons graced the red carpet in ensembles that paid homage to this rich heritage. The gala featured performances, art installations, and discussions that delved into the intersection of fashion, identity, and history. Attendees included renowned designers, artists, and public figures who contributed to the evening's celebration of Black excellence in fashion. The event not only highlighted the aesthetic contributions of Black culture, but also served as a platform for dialogue on representation and exclusivity in the fashion industry. The Met Gala 2025 was a testament to the enduring legacy and continued relevance of Black style in shaping contemporary fashion narratives. Priyanka Chopra applauds Waves 2025 Summit in Mumbai. On May 1, 2025, Bollywood actress Priyanka Chopra attended the inaugural Waves 2025 Summit in Mumbai, India's first global audio-visual and international summit. In a heartfelt video message, Chopra expressed her gratitude to Prime Minister Narendra Modi for hosting the groundbreaking event, describing it as a bold step onto the world stage. She emphasized the importance of such platforms in fostering international collaboration and showcasing India's growing influence in the global entertainment industry. The summit brought together industry leaders, creatives, and policymakers to discuss the future of audiovisual content, digital innovation, and cross-cultural partnerships. Chopra's endorsement highlighted the significance of Waves 2025 in positioning India as a key player in the global entertainment landscape. The event featured panel discussions, screenings, and networking opportunities aimed at bridging gaps between Eastern and Western entertainment sectors. Chopra's participation underscored the summit's potential to elevate India's presence in the international entertainment arena. Sports news. National Open Track meet kicks off in Kapas, Tarlac. The National Open Track and Field Championships commenced on May 1, 2025 in Kapas, Tarlac, featuring top athletes vying for spots in the upcoming Southeast Asian Games and other international competitions. Notable participants include Paris Olympic Games veteran Laurel. Filipina 5 roster announced for 5 Asian Cup futsal debut. The Philippine Football Federation (PFF) unveiled the 14-player roster for the newly named women's futsal team, Filipina 5, ahead of their debut and 2025 AFC Women's Futsal Asian Cup in China. The team comprises a mix of experienced players and emerging talents, with several members having represented the country in previous international competitions. The PFF expressed confidence in the team's preparation and potential, aiming to make a significant impact in that tournament. The Asian Cup debut marks a significant milestone for women's futsal in the Philippines, highlighting the growing support and development of the sport at the grassroots and national levels. Trivia. Rediscovering the Tabon Man. Tracing the first humans in the Philippines. The story of the Filipino people stretches back tens of thousands of years, long before the arrival of colonizers or the rise of early kingdoms. At the heart of this deep history lies one of the country's most important archaeological discoveries, the Tabon Man. Unearthed in 1962 by Dr. Robert Fax and a team from the National Museum of the Philippines. The fossilized remains were found in the Tabon Caves in Quezon, Palawan. These caves persist along the limestone cliffs of Lipuon Point, became the resting place of the oldest known human remains in the Philippines, dating back roughly 47,000 years. Despite the name Tabon Man, the remains represent multiple individuals, including a skull cap, jawbones, and teeth. Alongside this were stone tools and other artifacts, pointing to a society capable of tool making and possibly early cultural expression. Experts believe the people who once lived in the caves were early Homo sapiens, likely part of the Great Austronesian migration across Southeast Asia. The discovery redefined Southeast Asian prehistory and placed the Philippines in the map as one of the humanity's ancient homelands. Tabon Man remains a symbol of Filipino roots, deep, resilient, and enduring through time. And those are today's hottest news stories. You're tuned in to the Pinoy Rab YouTube channel, where Filipinos, local and abroad, stay connected. Thank you so much for joining us. Once again, I'm Marisol Sibayan Katso, thanking you and sending positive wishes your way. Stay informed, and we'll see each other in the next update. Madayaw, Davao.
Not only helps more people discover the important stories we bring you, but also supports our team's hard work. It boosts our visibility in the algorithm, making it easier for others to find ways to stay informed. Plus, it helps us generate more resources to continue delivering the news you rely on. Thank you for being part of our community.